This is Providence. Thanks for tuning in. My boy Drizzy Drake cannot catch a Brizzy break. His lawsuit was rejected, as I'm sure you all know by now, and it's perceived to have been an incalculable loss, a second loss related to the beef. And the internet's doing what the internet's doing, saying it's over. This guy can't possibly come back from this. He went through this whole thing of suing for no reason. I seen somebody on the internet say he lost the battle the black way and the white way. And the internet's once again roasting Drake for this entire thing. And on the face of it, it does seem like it was a big waste of time. People tried to tell Drake, look, bro, what you're doing is not hip hop. It's not going to go well for you. You're probably going to lose fans over this. This is incredibly corny. And if he ended up winning the case and winning the lawsuit, people would think differently because, well, he would have came out with a bag. And while people would have still probably thought it wouldn't be a good sign for a rapper to sue essentially over a rap beef, at least he could say he won and won some money. But having the lawsuit not even make it to trial, to have it be thrown out, it's embarrassing. And I say this as a Drake fan. I say this as somebody who actually agreed with the lawsuit and am still proud that Drake actually filed the lawsuit. But I gotta admit, yeah, this is an L. This was a huge risk for him to take, and it didn't pan out the way I'm sure that he would have wanted it to pan out. Now, Judge Vargas ruled that essentially what Kendrick had said in Not Like Us wasn't defamatory because it's protected opinion, not objectionable fact, and it was in the context of a heated rap beef. And so Drake kind of was asking for it a little bit, even when he had that line in Tailor Made Freestyle where he said, yeah, talk about me liking young girls or something, you know. And so there was this expectation back and forth, and Kendrick shared his opinion, and it's not verifiable facts, and so it's not defamatory. That's essentially how she ruled. In my humble opinion, and again, I will say very clearly and very much so at the outset, I'm not a legal scholar, okay? I have no law training, legal training whatsoever. I'm just a guy using my brain just like everybody else, forming my opinion. But I lived through the beef, just like everybody listening to this video lived through the beef. There's no way that Kendrick intended for what he said in Not Like Us to be his personal opinion and not verifiable facts. He absolutely intended and spoke what he spoke about Drake to be seen and taken as verifiable facts. And nothing. I mean, it ain't like he set up the line like, you know, in my opinion, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. No, he said, look, he said what he said. And it was supposed to be taken as fact. And this idea that rap battles are just meant to be hyperbole or opinion, in my understanding of rap battles, it doesn't fit the history. The history of rap battles or rap diss tracks have always been a amalgamation of different things. Yes, in a diss record, there'll be hyperbole, there'll be maybe some falsehoods, some stretching of the truth, but there'll also be fact. Even like the metaphorical stuff is based on fact. Like when you listen to Super Ugly, right? When Jay-Z dissed Nas and he said, look, you know, left condoms on your baby seat, right? Did he literally leave condoms on his baby seat? No, I hope not. That's kind of gross. But what was Jay-Z alluding to? He was alluding to the fact that I really did have sex with your baby mom's Nas, Carmen. I did have sex with her, right? When Ice Cube told NWA, you getting F'd into A, right? You getting, you know what I'm saying? Ramrodded, railroaded in No Vaseline. He didn't say you was literally getting F'd into A, but what he was saying is it was based off the truth that, yo, your manager is stealing from you. And it was based off of truth, even that metaphorical way he put it, right? There's always been facts attached to diss records. And just because you're in a heated rap battle, that doesn't mean that you're not expected to spit truth about somebody and for it to be authentic. And you could tell even in this past battle that Drake's intentions was always to be spitting facts and truth, because he called him out in Family Matters where he's like, where's the paperwork where you say I'm a snitch? And then in the Hard Part 6, Drake says, yo, you said I was a rat, but 1090 Jake would have been all over that and exposed me if I was a rat. You saying that I'm out here messing with minors, but where's the proof of that? Like the whole point of that song was prove it. If you're saying I'm doing all these things. And so in Drake's world, his understanding was I'm engaging in facts, speaking facts. Just because we're in a rap battle and a rap beef doesn't mean I'm saying my opinion. That's not that's not his intent. And that hasn't been, in my understanding, the history of rap battles. There's always been, of course, are there lies? Is there hyperbole? Is there people saying things? Like even in let's be honest, in Family Matters, Drake was like, I heard one of them kids might be Dave Free. Now, is that an exaggeration? Yeah, but Drake even set it up to say it might be. I heard it might be. So Drake's understanding about this whole battle was like, we spitting facts. At the end of the Hard Part 6, he's like, yo, let's get to the facts. So Drake, this artist who was a part of hip hop, who I'm sure understands the history of rap beefs and what is expected in a battle, people expect truth to be a part of the battle. Kendrick made no sign or intention or no indication that, yo, this stuff about me calling him a pedophile, that's cap. It's my opinion only. He expected people to take that as fact. So her interpretation of the rap battle, I disagree with. Again, I ain't a legal scholar, right? But that's just my opinion. Now, Drake has said he's going to appeal the decision, but in my honest opinion, it's like, it's always harder to win an appeal, right? Like if the judge didn't even let this go to a trial, that's a pretty solid and strong belief that there's no merit to this lawsuit. The Court of Appeals could probably disagree with that, but the chances of that is even lower, in my opinion. And so then after that, I think he could appeal to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court might not even take the case. So there's this sense in which, like, I think his chances of winning this thing has gotten astronomically lower, because if it would have went to trial in a civil case, I think you could have convinced the jury based on a preponderance of evidence that he was guilty, or UMG rather is guilty, because in a civil case, the burden of proof is lower than a criminal case. But the judge didn't even let it get to a trial, didn't even let it get to that point. So he 100%, in my opinion, is fighting an even steeper uphill battle to win. And so this is essentially, and then if it goes to the appeal courts and they deny it, then it's going to look like a third loss in the beef. Like, I mean, people are going to say, man, this guy Drake lost in every level, in every way. But in my opinion, and I'm going to go back to this, like I said earlier, I still think that filing this lawsuit was a good idea. Now, I might be in the minority in my opinion, but I'm going to explain why I think this was a good idea for Drake. I'm very happy that Drake stood his ground and didn't allow UMG to promote a devastating lie about him interacting with children sexually. I think that is problematic. I think that, and then people will say, oh, well, Drake called Kendrick a wife beater. Number one, that actually might be true. And number two, even if it ain't, that's still not anywhere close to being called a pedophile. I'm sorry. A pedophile is like literally the worst thing you can be called. Like literally the worst thing that you can be is that. Someone who is abusing children. That's the worst thing you could ever do. And way too many people believed it, entertained it as possibly true. This idea that only unreasonable people would believe it as true was just cap, bro. All over the internet, it was very clear that people believed it. Very clear. Very much so reasonable people believed it and still do believe it. And so I really am I'm 100% in the belief that you had to stand up for yourself and say, nah, this cap. I'm sorry. You just did. And me personally, speaking from my own personal belief, the lawsuit gave me a greater sense of assurance that what Kendrick said about Drake was false. Now, when Kendrick first called Drake a pedophile, did I believe it? No, I'm not going to believe that about somebody unless you prove it. Like, that's a serious accusation. But in my mind, I was like, could it be true? Maybe. I don't know Drake. I don't be around Drake. And we do know that Drake is living a rock star lifestyle. He's getting it in with God knows how many women, all willy-nilly. Probably don't even know the names of half the women he dealing with. Could it be possible that he was interacting with someone underage, even unknowingly? Maybe. Knowingly? Possibly. And so it was this question in my mind, like, man, maybe what Kendrick is saying is true. I don't know. But when I seen Drake put his foot down, stand on business, and was willing to go so far as to sue over this, that made me as a fan go, all right, look, my favorite artist ain't with that weird nonsense. Okay? He ain't with that weird nonsense. He's standing on business. He's standing up for himself. And personally speaking, I know people won't admit this, but they had to acknowledge the fact that Drake was taking this so seriously that it more than likely isn't true what Kendrick was saying. And the reality is that this is going to be seen as a L for Drake and maybe another win for Kendrick, but at what cost? Not Like Us as a diss record has been totally and completely invalidated. Completely. The legal ruling on this diss record is that it's opinion, not facts. That Drake ain't a certified PDF. And that none of that is objectionably true. And this whole other part, the whole second verse of him saying you go to Atlanta to basically colonize Atlanta. Well, all of the Atlanta rappers over the last year have come out and said we love Drake and that we collaborated together and made a lot of money together. And so in my opinion, that whole diss record has been, from a factual standpoint, destroyed. It still is a catchy song. You can dance to it. Great beat by DJ Mustard. Kendrick still has a lot of catchy lyrics in there. Cool. But at the end of the day, it's a song that has been legally defined as false. And Drake's lawsuit pushed it to the point where a judge had to rule on it and say, hey, we can't really take anything Kendrick said here seriously. And so there's a deeper question of, okay, well, in hip hop, what do you do with a diss record that is seen as false? Right now, people might still say, think in their mind it's true, but the judge who doesn't understand hip hop said it's false or whatever. But if we're gonna say that Drake's lawsuit is bunk, that it's nonsense, that it's without merit, then you have to kind of agree with why it's without merit. And the reason why it's without merit is because the judge said that what Kendrick said is false or not objectionably verifiable facts. That destroys Kendrick's diss record from a factual standpoint. And so I personally think, okay, cool, you could say Kendrick won the battle, and this has been a second loss for Drake and another win for Kendrick. I don't think that's a good look for the diss record, in my personal opinion. So at the end of the day, I'm happy that Drake stood his ground, stood up for himself. At the end of the day, people are going to say this wasn't what he should have did, and it hurt his stock overall. But let's be honest, Drake's going to bounce back from this. Nobody cares about a lawsuit at the end of the day. We care about the music. Rappers have done way worse things than Drake, and y'all still listen to their music. Rap is being starved right now. There's barely any rap songs even on the charts right now. If you're a rap fan, you're waiting for something. So we're all going to be waiting for Iceman to drop. And once Drake starts hitting you with that music, everything is good, man. It's all good. Let me tell you, man, good music can wash away all your sins. You're an artist, you do terrible things, you do things that the people don't like. You put out that good music and everybody's like, ugh, man, what were we mad about again with this guy? I don't care. Lawsuit, small shoot. Who cares? The music is good. So Drake's gonna be fine. I do think that Iceman has to really hit. You know what I mean? Iceman has to hit because it's been a rough year. It's been obviously the battle and everything related to the battle, but Iceman does in fact have to hit, and I think it will hit. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this. Thank you guys for listening to this Providence. If you guys like the video, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel. I thank you guys for all the love that you've been showing. It's Providence, man. I thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next video.